Nigeria Limited, Mike Sangster, and his team paid him a courtesy call. Now, the governor assured that his government will not fail to continue to provide support for businesses in the state. This is what the governor had to say. Let's not paraphrase. Let's get to listen to him exactly.
We do not compromise when it comes to the issue of security. We are going to do more especially now that we are aware that you have a new line that you are already embarking on. We will discuss with all the relevant authority to give you all the necessary support. But your job here is done. The demand that is coming in, you need to relate more with us. There should be a lot of areas where we can also work together as a company and as a state to better the life of our people.
Yes, to better the life of our people. Now, responding, the managing director, country chair of the Total Energies EP, Mr. Sang Langster, solicited the support of the state government in securing its pipeline facilities. Yes, everybody probably has a bit of knowledge about that. Although, interestingly, during our time last year, talking about legal issues, or earlier this year, we learned a lot about, right of way and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, this is where we're going to with this. Now, do you think that IOCs are overburdened, or do you think they themselves, the companies, not just one, the companies, are evasive to their corporate social responsibility in Rivers State? You see, I asked this question because, the governor says, look, he wants stronger economic synergy between the international oil companies and the government in order to promote the thriving business environment. But if you will live in Port Harcourt, in fact, if you're in Nigeria, you will know that they are literally the bloodline of the economy in this particular region. There's no mincing words about it. They are the bloodline. Now, over the years, there have been so many demands, and some of them very rightly so. Let's not make any mistake about this. Many of the requests, many of the demands by host communities have been very well justified. That some companies, both international and local, because there are some indigenous companies who operate in some of these regions, are not fulfilling their duties, whether it's regarding the maintenance of the pipelines or when spills occur, their responses. Heck, even the SPDC was taken to court, even in the international court, to show you how serious some of these accusations have been. But let us look very honestly at ourselves, you as a Rivers resident, and you from your knowledge, from your vantage point of doing business here in Rivers State. Do you think that these IOCs or any company at all, oil company, have been overburdened with requests? Oh, it's Christmas, come and give us rice. It's Easter, come and give us rice. Oh, you haven't fixed the road. But they all, and I mean all of them, if there's any group in this country, right, that is monitored as regarding taxation, it is the international oil company. In fact, once you're a big conglomerate, it's pretty much easy to get and find your books. Yes, people have accused some of the companies of under-reporting, subverting, evasion. All of these things happen all over the world. But the point is, they are easily looked at. I mean, they go, oh, that's a big company there. Let's check what they're doing. But if you look at what they have been asked to do by the companies, allied companies, and the government and the people here, do you think they're actually overburdened? Oh, Jude Oil Company, come and fix our road. But you have a government. Oh, Jude Oil Company, come and give us healthcare. But we pay taxes to your government. Oh, Jude Oil Company, we need we need schools, and we also need teachers. We also need bursary to go abroad. But you have a government. There was a time when I was much younger in this state that some days we'll wake up and at Oginiba there'll be traffic. Why? Some youths have blocked the gates of SPDC for one reason or the other. So are they really overburdened, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think in the interactions between the communities and the companies in this state, it's been a bit unfair? Eche in particular gets a lot of calls here on this station every week. Oh, we are all producing. There are installations here. The government should come. The companies, but the companies cannot operate without carrying out some due diligence and also meeting requirements such as paying taxes, fines, and such and such and such. So there seems to be so much as regarding corporate social responsibility in this area that a lot of people apparently now see them as government. Or is it just my perception? But What do I know? Let's get to hear from you this morning. If you by chance work in these any of the oil companies, or you have friends and families, or maybe you are experienced to know, join the conversation this morning inside Rivers as we find out the engagement between the communities and these oil companies. Once again, the question is, do you think these IOCs or any other allied companies or any supporting companies, do you think they're overburdened with the, in quote, corporate social responsibility, or do you think they can do more, but they are just being evasive? Yes, they want more money.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Please do turn down the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. Didn't see it, didn't hear it. Please do not make unsubstantiated and unverified claims. And very importantly, do not make inciting statements. Please. Thank you very much. Numbers to call 08179230002, 08179230003. The WhatsApp and Telegram number available on 08090306416, 08090306416. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on Twitter. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on Twitter. My 2.3, good morning to you. Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning, please.
Happy working day.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you and welcome.
Robin Maja, the farmer.
Welcome, Robin.
Yes. You see, the question you asked, whether the IOCs are overburdened, I will break it down from my understanding in two ways. In the first instance, I don't think they are overburdened.
Okay.
Because these companies declare profit at the end of every year. They are running to billions of naira.
Okay.
And I think that it's incumbent on them, the area where they operate, they should do more by making sure that the environment where they operate live good life the way they do live good life within their company premises. Now, knowingly that they pay money to the federal government, which is the 13% that the federal government remits back to the states. Yes, I understand that money is meant to be used to develop the oil-bearing or the oil-host communities, which the state governments across Niger Delta or all other areas where oil exploration and exploitation is going on have failed from the beginning to date. How do you reconcile a situation where my village in Oshuboko, where a multi-billion-dollar company domiciles, Obele, Obumeze, and adjoining communities, Okoma 1, Okoma 2, Ojabere, Okoro, you cannot find drinking water, ordinary water.
So Robin, let me ask you.
There's no maternity.
So whose job? Wait, hold on, Robin. Whose job?
About the issue of a shade. Go to Umebule.
Robin.
The multinational companies there.
Robin, once again, hello, Robin.
The kind of life people are living there.
Robin.
So I am saying and submitting that it's a 50-50. And
50-50.
The leadership of the communities that takes care and discusses with companies, they should do more instead of self-benefit.
All right, Robin, thank you very much. So they should do more. Let's agree they should do more, 50-50. But if it's 50-50, let's be very honest to ourselves, right? Now, I don't have the facts before me, all right? But would you say that majority of the host communities, majority of the places in and around River State have not benefited one way or the other from the impact of the oil mining in these regions, whether it's LNG, whether it's the big companies, whether it's the fertilizer company, whether it's the other big conglomerate. Are you saying that they've not benefited? Are you saying they've not done their bit apart from paying taxes? Now, you made mention, Robin, that, they declare huge profits, billions, running to billions. No doubt about that. But do you know that there's an operating cost in these companies? The reason why a lot of people want to get into those oil companies is the benefits. They have to pay taxes, they have to pay their workers, and they try to pay their workers, to international standards. Some even accuse the big companies here of not even paying as commiserate, right, with their counterparts in the UK or even in Belgium. Let's not talk about even Scotland. In Belgium, they don't pay as much, but within the confines, they pay, decently, or above average, some would say. So there's that. And a huge chunk, interestingly, has gone to securing their installations. A huge chunk also goes to providing power for their installations. So if they are already burdened with all of these responsibilities, how much more should they even give? Once again, these are not charitable organizations. My 2.3, good morning. Welcome. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Hello.
Good morning, please.
I'm calling from news.
Oh, go on, please.
Tax in this River State is not small. It's too tax is state. If you go for another state, it's not like this. This refinery now, they build this kind of refinery they build in Lagos. They're supposed to be in River State due to taxes. Tax is too much for River State.
But did you understand the question? I'm asking if the companies, right, are overburdened, or if you think that they are evasive to their CSR, that's their corporate social responsibility. Oh, we have this break. because it's a Monday, and yes, people are getting to do things the way they best can considering the circumstances. But whilst we're doing that, we need to talk about one of the most important things that is pertinent to Nigerians, and in particular to Rivers people. Oil business. Yes, there are oil companies all over the place. The governor, Siminalayi Fubara, says, hey, look, this government's all about partnering, making sure that this place is striving for those here, so the business environment is booming. Great. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. But the question, and in response to his comments, the outgoing chair, that's Total Energy, says, look, we need help to secure installations. Now, with these installations being regularly vandalized, these companies are also losing revenue. So also is the government, state and federal, for that matter. Everybody's losing revenue to oil theft. Interestingly, carried out by, that would be some Nigerians in cahoots with some other international individuals or groups. We don't know for now. But the point here is this, right? A lot of people in this area are very quick to raise their voices against, or rather raise their voices in protest to what they would say is the inactivity or the inaction of some big companies. In this case, we're looking at oil companies. In some other cases, in other businesses that were big enough to employ over 1,000 people. Oh, the company is here. They should do this. They should do that. Should they really? But the interesting thing is this. While corporate social responsibility is a big deal globally, it's one of the easiest ways that companies can ensure that they have longevity, but most importantly, they have what you call emotional value with the people. Some people are connected to a particular company for no other reason than the fact that that company has carried out some interest in corporate social responsibility, from sending children to school, from making sure there's healthcare services, even sponsoring very expensive treatment for members of a community where they are domiciled. It is a blueprint that's worked over a generation globally. It's not just a Nigerian thing. Now, my friend told me of her growing up in Jos, where there was a small mining company that provided electricity for this community where they were staying. These people didn't know what it was to have a blackout for more than 2-3 hours a day, at most in a week, at most. That was corporate social responsibility. They would do anything for this company because a good number of their sons and daughters were employed by that particular company. But let's come here. There's a myriad of challenges in the Niger Delta, particularly in River State, from host community wanting, local content, which is great, by the way. But sometimes, as we've heard before, most of these local content are usually abused and are falling very sadly into the dearth of corruption and corrupt practices in the country. Who's to blame? I don't know. But do these companies really owe more than they ought to do? Like I said, these are not charitable institutions. These are business entities. Their sole existence is for the making of ones and zeros. And if those ones and zeros are not made, they will not be seen as profitable. And in the end, they could fold up. So, do you think, from what you've heard in the past 3 years, 5 years, a decade, do you think the big companies here are living up to their corporate social responsibility? Do you think that they're evading? If they are, how can we challenge that? We don't want people to take Rivers individuals for a ride now, do we? No. 1,000 times I say no.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
As always, do turn down the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. And if you didn't see it or hear it, please do not make mention of it. My 2.3, good morning and welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Yeah, hello, good morning, Jude.
Good morning, please.
This is Carl on the line.
Good morning.
I couldn't just help, but seek space to actually say something concerning this. Now, I've spoken to a legal practitioner concerning this. And I'll quickly stress this. CSR, corporate social responsibility, is not obligatory. Like I say, social responsibility, what we feel we could do to help them, the social being and social well-being of those where we find ourselves. When a company comes to a place, several things to consider. Now, the place where they are located, where the activity is going to be taken, was it given to them for free? Was it outrightly purchased? Now, is there a contract, sometimes like an MOU, that they actually sign with that community when they come in? Now, the details concerned in that contract or that MOU, are they living up to the responsibility? Now, if they are, any other thing is just an addition, it's just a plus. Like I said, it's not obligatory. They have to now consider what could we further do. After all, we live or we work in the same environment as these people. So could we do this? Could we do that? Now, why I'm saying usually about this is that it's passed on to other generations. It's moved on to generations. When you see people agitating, like you mentioned then, when they will go seal off the gate belonging to a company, they didn't give them this. How can they be there and they didn't give them? They are not your government. Are they paying their taxes? Did they pay their way to be there? Yes. Are they meeting up to expectations? But when it comes to pollution and stuff like that, yes, the community could basically get involved. But let's also remember the authorities, the government are supposed to do something about it. And I won't blame the community if they decide to do something where the government fails to act.
Do so.
But when we say corporate social responsibility, if they could do more, are they doing enough? Or are they doing? I want to stress, it is not obligatory. It's not a right. It's our company here, Jude, also, we engage in some form of corporate social responsibility. And I'm not going to lie, we've had people come also to harass us, telling us we must do this and no. We do not owe you. We pay our taxes, we pay for where we are, we do not owe that. Out of the goodness of our heart, we can do extras to actually for those. But seemingly it has become now a tradition, and like I say, I'm pained because some people who grow up seeing this do not know that this is not what should be. They now think that that's the norm, and we have problems for companies operating within these areas.
All right, Carl, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. Good morning. All right, now let's get to you now. Messages coming through on 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. IOCs currently are the architects of whatever they are passing through at the hands of host communities. How would PIA host communities trust that supposed to be effective since 2021 are yet to be functional till today, 2023? And even governors of their host states are not saying anything about it. Victor from Egbema. But once again, Victor, you just said the governors. Hello, the governors. What are they doing? Oh dear, drop call scenario. All right, more messages coming through. Jude, the oil companies are not overburdened. The fact is that the IOCs like to cut corners because of nonchalant attitude of our leaders at all levels. Jude, the IOCs to a great extent are not alive to their social responsibilities. That's from John. Oh, all right. John says the IOCs are not alive to their corporate social responsibility. But what exactly should they do, John? Like Carl said, the companies are not your government. It's not the IOC's responsibility to build schools, roads, hospitals, provide education, pay teachers. In fact, in some instances, they even feed some communities. Now, like I said, it is pretty good that these things are done, but they're not under any obligation to do so. 92.3, good morning, please. Welcome. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Yeah, Mr. Zion, good morning to you.
Good morning.
In 1998, the United Nations Global Impact developed a framework for international or multinationals in any operational region. And the template of this CSR was when it was first discussed. I want to tell you categorically clear that these companies are evasive when it comes to CSR.
They're evasive. Interesting.
And I want to be honest with you, sir. Most of them are using that even premise to cause problems in some communities in this region. And we from this side, I think by now we need to develop a legal framework on CSR. Maybe because we don't have the legal framework, that is why these people are taking privilege and advantage over us. I want to ask you, sir, here in Port Harcourt, how many cottage hospitals is Shell partnering with? Bayville, Total, how many are they partnering with to give us the primary health care?
But should they? But Zion, the question is, should they?
Yes. They do it in Europe, they do it in Asia, they do it in other countries. Why is Nigeria case always a problem? It's because there's no legal framework. Even in our universities, start to challenge Shell this morning from any of them in that department. Mention one university in Port Harcourt. They have associated or partnered with for research and development. I
don't know about research and development, but I know that for a while, they used to have, what do you call them, examinations at almost every level.
These are peanuts. They are giving you peanuts. You are celebrating. They are giving you crumbs. You are happy. But what they have done in most of the universities just to give a professorial share, which means we are giving you this amount to aid your
research. Yes.
Your research.
Yeah.
No, I want to challenge Total. They will mention one industrial park they have in Port Harcourt and in Bayelsa State. I'm challenging Shell also. Mention how many students that you have trained today under your program of CSR, and today they are paying back to their community. Many more in Shell in the Niger Delta region, including Bayelsa State. My problem is most of these people who are parading themselves. I want to be a governor. I want to be a senator. They do this out of poverty and hunger stomach. They don't have a vision to protect their people in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years. So let me be honest to you. If you have this kind of laws protecting CSR and the people, by now as we are having this problem now, Shell, Mobil, all these multinationals should have no law bosses on the street of Port Harcourt and
Zion, once again, is it their responsibility? Because if Zion, if you listen to Carl said, look, are they operating illegally? No. Do they pay their taxes? Yes. Have they met their financial obligations to whatever fines that they are meant to pay? Yes. So if so, the idea of CSR is more or less an act to benefit people.
A case that was discussed in the Assembly of the United Nations. In 1998, go and get that document and study it carefully.
I think I have. Hold on. I think I have, but I also remember, if I remember something correct, it is done out of goodwill to promote the dynamics and particularly protect the environment where those
relevance in the community.
But it is not obligatory. I remember it is not obligatory.
Those countries that this case are effective, that they have domesticated a law for CSR. Our problem here is that there is no domestication, and I think I want to call on the River State House of Assembly to look into this. Domesticate a law on CSR here in River State. I'm also challenging the Bayelsa State House of Assembly to do the same thing. If we see they will not adhere to the laws of that book. Look, in Qatar, how do they come to develop it? And
Zion, what you're indirectly saying is that there should be a law to force these companies, whether it's IOCs or any big. Wait, hold on. You are basically saying that there should be a law to force big companies to give to the. That's not giving. That's basically a tax.
Look, if you don't force them to do it, they will not do it.
But they are already paying regulated, internationally recognized taxes.
Are they paying compared to the violations of the environment? I am also challenging Shell this morning. Mention how many places you have started replanting mangroves in the Niger Delta region that you have demolished and destroyed through your production and action.
Zion, I'm taking you up on this challenge as a journalist. I'm going to speak because of you. I'm going to speak to the public relations officer of SPDC today, not tomorrow. Today, we will have a follow up of this conversation.
Of land that you have replanted.
Zion, we're taking you up on this challenge because because you have a right to do so. And please, once again, if you just join us, please be as vociferous as you need to be as vocal. You have a right. Zion has said, look, he wants to hear what these IOCs have done, and I have taken up the challenge. I am going to call. I'm going to put a call across, maybe even write an official letter. Let's have documents. Let's get to see if they're actually living up to what is expected of them. Once again, yes, it's not obligatory, but if it's in the interest of promoting good relations with your host or with your environment, particularly when it comes to environmental degradation, I don't think it's too much to ask for certain things to be done. But on the flip side, people, what are these communities, what are the people actually asking for? Bags of rice? money to celebrate the life of a well-lived chief? What exactly are they asking for? What exactly is the CSR that people should say? Anyway, I want to get to hear from you. All right, let's get to messages now. 009-030-6416, 0809030-6416, and at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. Ozu R. Andrew says, yes, you're not foolish but wise and right thinking. My worries are that both the IOC and the government, local, state and federal government, each have their own part to play in delivering corporate social responsibilities to the host landlords and communities. But look at the IOC as a portion of land meant to be used to cultivate or building. When host landlords and community people are handicapped of funds to handle something like education of their wards or health issues, IOCs can handle all these, including employment to host communities that employ. They're not living up to their expectations. But Ozu, how many can they employ? You see, don't get me wrong. I believe that it is imperative that it should be an increment in the local content, whether it is in the manpower or whether it's in the technologies being used. I totally believe so. But where the skills required are not available, the company, the entity, the business entity cannot fold its arms and say, oh, we will wait for the people to get trained so that we can have this job done. No, they have international standards. They have deadlines to be met. So they have to source for these prerequisite skills so that they can meet the best practice globally. You don't fold your arms because there's nobody to till your farm. You go hire a farmer. 90.3. Good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Good morning. Please, can you turn off your radio set? Please, can you do that for us? Thank you.
Yes, Walter is calling from Robo.
Good morning, Walter.
How you work?
Very welcome.
Jude, let me ask. Before this company or when they came to this place, were not MOU, Memorandum of Understanding? I want to ask.
Could you repeat that question, please?
I say, if a company, actually now a company come to my place, maybe to do one business or the other.
Yes.
I think that should be MOU, Memorandum of Understanding.
Well, some do have those agreements, yes, depending on the scale.
Okay. I think most of the companies that come to River State, as I may say, they have MOE either in the communities where they operate. You see, some of the problems we have with the companies, sometimes they deviate from the MOU.
Okay.
And then they will have issues. If they oblige to the MOU, I don't think all these issues will be coming. Are you getting me right?
Yes, we'll listen to you.
Because sometimes it is state government or the federal government sponsor them because that is where they get their own, what will I say? At the end of the day, denying the communities their host communities. That's the issue. If the MOU are being maintained as stipulated in their documents, I think all these issues will not be coming on air. So they should oblige to their memorandum of understanding. Thank you, my brother.
Oh, thank you very much, Walter. Pleased to have heard from you this morning. Let's get back to Facebook and Twitter. We have just about 4 minutes. Time flies when you're having great conversations, doesn't it? Now, Kinsley Omachi says, good morning. My take is the IOCs are not overburdened in the sense that most of them sign MOUs with their host communities and some of them at times neglect them. For example, some of them promise to host steady power supply, providing them with scholarship, good roads to their communities. So at times they fail to make them, so at times they fail, so it makes them get into confusion, all right, between them. All right, okay, thank you very much. Mark Favor on Facebook says, let them try to build one refinery in River State. The task is too much. Odinaka from Port Harcourt. That might not be a bad idea, Odinaka. I'm just saying, Because if you look at the taxes, these companies, ought to have been paying, at least in the past, I would say 2 decades. Shouldn't that money be enough to have at least, either fix, or maybe even build a brand new refinery? Mark, that's a very interesting point you just raised now. Very interesting one. But anyway, I'm going to keep to my word. Right before the close of business today, we'll send a message out. Right, I do believe we can get a hold of one of the IOCs and their PROs. Ask them this pertinent question that I think I was Zion that asked. Aha, yes, okay, all right, good. So ask that, and let's see if we can get formal document and have a follow up. Why not? If not, that's why we're here after all. 08179230002, 08179230003, 08179230002, 08179230003. And you can send us a message to WhatsApp 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. That's why you find us on our WhatsApp and Telegram and number right there. All right. So let me read this. This is from Abokaribo. All right. It says we must be fair. Most of the IOCs are doing much for their host communities. You can imagine how much more developed our communities would be if our people could harass our government half as much as they do the IOCs. We must not forget that the purpose of their presence is not to come and take over development of communities from government. The degree of entitlement mentality is quite high and sometimes embarrassing. Community leaders usually don't help matters. Governments are the greatest defaulter of responsibility. Governments should be far more responsible and sensitive to the needs and desires of the people. Sincerity of purpose must be seen to exist across board. That's from Abo Karibo. All right. So it's the sincerity of government Abo Karibo is saying that it doesn't seem to be there. If something isn't a legal responsibility, it cannot be enforced by any legal framework, no matter how many other countries have done it. Nigerian mindset of entitlement and culture is different from what is obtainable abroad. I have spoken before of how my husband had wells dug for IDPs in the north. We live in Abuja, but we both are from the south. So those IDPs are not townspeople. We are not trying to get into politics, or it's not like we need the PR. Yet those wells were ruined by the same ID people who lack clean water. Never again. 92.3. Good morning, please.
Yeah, good morning, Jude.
Good morning, Collins.
Yeah, Jude, sometimes the people we choose to represent us from the communities too, they contribute to the problem the communities have. I'm telling you, sometimes the people we choose, because it happens in my own community. So we never knew that for over 6 years, some group of bodies have been taking 60 million naira every month on behalf of the youth. And when this, I'm telling you, for over 6 years, and when this thing escalated to the point of where the youth said no more, it became a problem. And there's no problem. So, you see, to the point of even when they brought security, the security people would open their mouth and told them that if it happens in their own community, they won't take it. We're all human beings. See, sometimes the people we choose to represent us
that's the problem.
Go back to the company and mess things up for us.
Interesting.
So that's the problem we have.
All right, so sometimes it is the people represented. All right, interesting comment here. This is from Carl. It says any company that goes back on his word as regard MOU, you are looking for trouble. It says that said, some of the people who agitate do not have the terms of MOU. Some clauses have limits. It's half the effort to harass business entity is put into the government. The country will be better for it. Similar comment to Abakaribo. If half of the energy used to, hey IOC, you have not done this, people use it on the government, things might just be better. I don't know. All I have to do is ask questions. That's my primary responsibility. Hello Potaka returns after the break. Stay tuned.
The show continues after this break on Nigeria Info.
Yeah, so guys,